Hey folks, it's your favorite Canadian info wrangler coming at you again on the One Byte Linux Reviews channel through the power of the interwebs. And today is a big day. Today we remove Windows from the system. And I'm going to show you how it all gets done. Now the first thing you need to do is open up your File Explorer in Bazite. Here it's called Dolphin on the KDE desktop. So open that up and you see you've got some drives down here. Your system isn't going to look the same as mine, but one of these drives is going to say boot. Click on that, that's your Windows drive. And you go in here and you go to users and you go to your username and you make sure you copy everything in my documents, videos, downloads, pictures, probably desktop, music, all of that stuff. Make sure you copy it all onto your Linux drive. I'm assuming here that you're using one drive for Linux and one drive for Windows. That would be the wise way to have installed Linux. Because that way, if one drive fails, the other one is still there, still usable. So we want to go into that other drive and we want to make sure we've backed up everything. All our personal files are all backed up. And I've done that already. They're backed up onto the 1.8 terabyte internal drive NVMe 1N1P1. Now my Bazite installation is on a 1 terabyte drive. My backup drive is a 2 terabyte, and my Windows installation is on another 2 terabyte. So we go in here, we make sure that we've backed up everything we want to save. And then we go down here to our menu launcher and we go into utilities in Bazite. Maybe different in, if you're using Mint, it might be a little different, or Ubuntu, I'm not really sure where it is, but we want to look for disks or disk management or something along those lines. In my case, it's just disks. So you see here we have a 2 terabyte drive, another 2 terabyte drive, and a 1 terabyte drive. The 1 terabyte drive has Bazite installed on it. You can see that here on partition 3. One of the 2 terabytes is simply just 2 terabytes NTFS. It's just storage. It doesn't have any boot partitions or anything like that. It's just a storage drive. The other one here, as you can see, has 6 partitions. That's the way Windows sets itself up now. But this is Windows. And I've already backed everything up. I've made sure that Bazite is capable of doing everything I need it to do. And so I don't need to keep Windows. I haven't used Windows now for about 2 months. And it's time. So what we do here, that's the main partition. We're going to click on that. We're going to go to additional partition options. And we're going to click Format Partition. Now, you don't necessarily need to put a name on it. You can if you want to. I don't usually bother. But here is the important thing, type. Internal disk for use with Linux systems only, ext4. For use with Windows, NTFS. For use with all systems and devices, FAT. Now, I'm not planning on ever having Windows installed on here again, and I'm also not planning on installing any other Linux operating systems on this computer. It'll all be done on the second computer once that arrives. So, for my purposes, I'm going for internal disk for use with Linux systems only, ext4. And we click Next. Warning, all data on the volume will be lost. Yes, that's nice. Format. And we have to enter our password. All right, now we have that formatting. And that's going to take a few moments. There we are. So now, I'm going to do the same with these ones. Want to format these little partitions. Make sure they're all ext4. And then what we're going to do after that is we're going to remove these partitions. And I'm going to resize partition 1. Dum de dum 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 dum. Okay. That's not going to work that way. What about that one? That's not going to work either. Okay, so let's minimize this. I figured out what I was doing wrong. We click on the red X. Should have been simple, right? Delete the partition. Now we're going to delete that partition. We're going to delete that partition. And as you can see, as we're deleting these partitions, it's creating more free space. There we have it. Now, we create a partition, the full size, ext4, create. There we go. Almost. Still working, still saying unknown. Of course, there's a lot of operations for it to perform. We just deleted 6 partitions. So this may take a few moments. There we have it. Partition 1, 2 terabytes, ext4. So that takes care of that. Windows is gone. Now the next thing I have to do, close that, is I need to consult with an expert here. I shall return. Okay, so now I have to open the terminal and I have to enter a command here. No such file or directory. I think it was supposed to be grub.cfg. Let's try this again. No such file or directory. Okay. Yeah, I did that right. Let's try it with this. Aha. Alrighty. Now then, this means my Windows entry should be gone. So because of all the changes we've made to the system, and because I want to see if that Windows entry is gone, I'm going to reboot. So I'll see you on the other side. Okay, we're back. And it did offer me the option of booting into Bazite 1, Bazite 2, or Windows, which means the leftover boot entries have not been cleaned up. So what we do, or we try to do, because I don't know if Bazite will allow me to do this, but we're going to try it. Okay. So we have boot 4 zeros. Boy. Oh boy. Well, the Windows Boot Manager is the 4 zeros. But I think the boot 0001 Fedora is Bazite. Everything else can be removed. The two Ubuntus and the Windows can be removed. So let's see if Bazite will allow me to do this. And enter. Okay. That removed the Windows one. All right. Now we can get rid of 2 and 5. Gone. Gone. Now all we have is Fedora and then DVD drive, which I don't have, removable device, network device. That's fine. All right. So, one more reboot, and I'll see you on the other side. Alrighty, so we're back again one more time, and now I still have Windows showing in my grub bootloader when the system reboots. And I don't want that because there is no Windows on this system. So I'm going to try one more command here that I've gotten from an AI chatbot. I'm not going to tell you which one I'm using. And it has no entries for Microsoft. Interesting. I don't understand why it's still showing up on boot then. But this is Bazite, and Bazite is a little different than most other distros. Chances are the reason why that's still showing up on boot is because it's in a folder that I'm not allowed to edit. Because Bazite does not allow you to edit system files. And so that's probably considered a system file and it won't let me edit it. But that's okay. I now have lots of free space. Look at that. That. And that. Yeah. See? Not mounted. Well, mount it. I need to set up auto mount on these drives. What have we got here? Not in there. Edit mount options. Mount at system startup is on. So why is it not doing that? Weird. But now I have about 3 terabytes free of storage space. And that doesn't include what's free on here, because I'm only using 37.5% full of 1 terabyte. That's pretty good. That's because I don't store my YouTube videos on this drive. I store them on this drive. Alrighty, so there you have it. Now you see that it's really not all that difficult to remove windows and remove all your partitions. Now, if I really wanted to clean this up, I would back up Bazite and I would reinstall it. But I don't feel like going that far. My system automatically boots straight into Bazite anyway, even though there is that Windows option. It still goes straight into Bazite, so that's not a problem. So I'm fine with it as is. One of these days, I'm going to rearrange the physical drives in the tower, though, because right now I have a 2 terabyte storage drive mounted in, or installed in, the top NVMe slot, which is the one that goes direct to the CPU. And then I have another 2 terabyte storage drive mounted down below the PCI Express bus, and a 1 terabyte Bazite drive mounted in the same place. So ideally, the 1 terabyte Bazite drive should be the one at the top, right underneath the CPU, which goes directly to the CPU. And then the storage drives down below. So eventually I will do that. But for now, that's all from me. And God's willing, Daffy Duck willing, we'll see y'all in the next video. Ciao for now.